Right. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Thank you, Jared, for the kind words. You know, Jared, you were talking about that slate of candidates, and one of the things that I enjoyed most about the 2020 election was the work going into it, the challenge of convincing a whole bunch of people to put their names out there and take that risk. And the incredible people that stepped forward, and Jared Clark, you're way up at the top of that amazing list. Thank you so much for your work, and I certainly hope we'll see you as a candidate again very soon. It's something to try and follow Courtney and Modeste up here. I'm out of breath just watching them. What an amazing show. And Modeste, you are not only an incredible jigger, you're a great campaigner. Love working alongside you. I want to thank Tim Poitras from Muscatine for starting us off in a good way, reminding us of the importance of treaty relationship, reminding us of the value of learning from and working alongside the First Peoples of Saskatchewan. And Andrew Stevens, what a speech. Man, we got to get that guy on the floor of the legislature, don't you think? That's right. He'd be great at that. I mean, he's a pretty good city councilor too, but that would be very cool. Folks, I also want to recognize a couple people who are sitting at my table. Honored to be able to sit beside Premier Lauren Calvert, who is been a mentor to me and an inspiration to so many of us. I'm so grateful to have had the chance to lean on him and to bend his ear through these years in this role. And I want to recognize someone who I don't believe we have had a chance to give the full honor for the service he provided, and that's Cam Broughton. Could everyone please take your feet and give a special ovation to Cam Broughton, former leader of the Saskatchewan NDP, for his efforts, his leadership, his courage in that role. He deserves that recognition. We're grateful for what he's done. Thanks, Cam. You know, as I watched the faces on the video, heard the voices of friends, and tried not to choke up, even though some of the people at my table were seeing a tear or two fall. It's with mixed feelings that I give my remarks today, and it's with mixed feelings that I think we're having a lot of the conversations as I'm shaking hands and hugging people on the way in here. It's challenging. There are disappointments. As I said before, you don't become leader of the opposition to stay leader of the opposition. You had something else in mind. But I'm someone who is comfortable with disappointment, who I believe in regret. I think when you are able to be okay with wishing you'd make different choices along the way, well, at the very least, you'll make different mistakes in the future. So I do want to say to anyone that I've let down, either by my decision to go or by the things that I did when I was in this role, I am deeply and truly sorry. And I hope that I can have your forgiveness for those errors along the way. But the emotion that I'm feeling most today, the feeling that is standing out in that mix, is gratitude. I'm so thankful for you, for the relationships that I've been able to be a part of in this role. Grateful to have had the opportunity to serve as MLA for Saskatoon-Meewasin, to serve as leader of the opposition for these last 4 years. To lead the Saskatchewan NDP was the honor and experience of a lifetime. So I want to thank those who helped me to come to this role and those who supported me in that work, even if I wasn't your first choice to be here. You came alongside and you helped and we worked together. I do want to give some specific thank yous. Sheila Whalen, the executive, the council, those folks who do the work that is often invisible but is absolutely irreplaceable. Thank you for your leadership, your time, and your dedication. Thanks. And Tim Williams, our overworked, hard-working, and incredibly committed party CEO who does the job of dozens and does it with good, often dark, but good humor. Thank you to you and Tim. Thanks for the work that everybody's put into making this convention work. Thank you, Tim. And a special thanks to your whole team at Party Office, and especially our organizers, Melissa and Stacy. You know, Stacy's had a loss in the family. And she's such a special person. We're so grateful for the work that she does, and just the great person that Stacy is. What a laugh. Irreplaceable laugh. Kat Norton is our Chief of Staff. She's an incredible woman. I'm so lucky to get to work alongside her, and so grateful for the support and good humor and just wonderful person she is and the team she leads. And to have had the chance to work with her, other chiefs of staff, other team members in the caucus team, and the support that they give through those long sittings and dealing with, what do they call us, the electeds, and our attitudes, and the incredible work that you do to make us look like we have some inkling of what we're doing. And those electeds, those caucus teammates. We go to work in a very strange place, where part of our job is having a bunch of, I'd like to say grown men, but it doesn't seem that way a lot of the time, shout at us and misrepresent the things we say. It's a strange place to work, but it is quite something to be able to stand alongside each other, shoulder to shoulder, in solidarity, have each other's backs, and always know that every one of those NDP MLAs, and I want you to know this, whether it's in the caucus room or in our offices or on the floor of that legislature, they are there driven by a love for the people of Saskatchewan. Absolutely. They are. And the last specific thank you is to, I'm accompanied by my favorite political philosopher today, Abraham Meili, who's a tremendous companion, and he and Meili and Gus, I'm so grateful to them for the love and support throughout these years. And while there are things I will miss about this role, I am certainly looking forward to more time with you and your mom and your little brother. I'm looking forward to that. And I'm looking forward to working directly with patients one-on-one, and to continue to stand up and call for upstream action that keeps people healthy. It's what I do. I don't really know how to do anything else. So that's what I'll be up to. And it made me think, there was a recent article in the Star Phoenix. There's a Sask Party pundit who accused me of having failed to evolve. Because when I entered politics back in 2009, I believed we should focus on health as our primary goal in politics, in public policy, and I still talk about that today. Well, the first thing was, it struck me as pretty funny, given Scott Moe's ongoing evolution to a hard-right, anti-vax, anti-science, insurrection, cosplay supporting, post-truth Trump Republican. This is what the Sask Party calls evolution. And frankly, I'm surprised they'll even use the word given the schools they're funding these days. But truly, beyond that irony, I couldn't have been more pleased with the assessment, because after all, why wouldn't we want to be consistent, to stick to our values and our principles, to the reasons we got into this work in the first place. And what are we doing here if it's not to improve people's lives? That's the whole point of this work. And there is no better measure of our success in that work than our well-being, than our health, and its distribution throughout our province. And under the Sask Party, under Brad Wall, and even worse under Scott Moe, Saskatchewan, sadly, has a tragic record, leading the country in things like diabetes and obesity, and wait times for surgery, and heart disease, as my colleague Doyle points out so frequently, and suicides. Leading in diseases that we think of as long ago or far away, like HIV, tuberculosis, syphilis, alive and well, thriving in Scott Moe's Saskatchewan, and the inequity, indeed, with more poverty, more homelessness, leading to more sickness among those who are struggling. It's been going on for years, and it's only getting worse. And that arc of failing to act early, and as a result having to pay and deal with the downstream impacts, the costs, the illness. Well, geez, that arc, that changed a lot these last 2 years, didn't it? Moved from a story of years, where, for example, money invested today in early childhood development might show up a decade or two later as lower costs and healthier adults. Now we're dealing with a situation where using masks on Thursday could reduce case transmission by Sunday and deaths by the end of the month. A situation where modeling ignored in June overwhelmed hospitals in September. And we saw the Sask Party's chronic failure to put people's health first become even more acutely tragic. Some of the worst outcomes, the deadliest COVID waves in all of Canada. Devastating impact on our economy, on the lives of those who got sick and their families, and the many more who couldn't access essential care because our system was overwhelmed, because the Sask Party once again put politics ahead of people's lives. Shame indeed. Scott Moe willingly sacrificed people's lives to try to save his political career. We have done the opposite. We have said hard things. We have called for actions that may not have been popular, but were the right thing to do. And together, I'm confident that we forced this government to do more than they ever would have on their own. I believe that to be true. I'm proud to have been a part of that, and I can only imagine how much worse it would have been had they been left to their own devices. But those tough truths, they take their toll. And now, it is time for a new voice for our party, a new phase. Someone who's able to move beyond the constant criticism to propose a new path. And we have two remarkable people who put their names forward today to take on that challenge. And you're going to hear from them in just a few minutes. Carla Beck, a school board trustee, a social worker, an experienced MLA with a deep knowledge and care for the concerns of Saskatchewan people. And Caitlin Harvey, a proud Métis woman, an accomplished lawyer, someone who has shown her commitment by running in 2020 and who brings fire and passion on fundamental challenges like climate change and reconciliation. Today, you will select one of these impressive women as leader of the Saskatchewan NDP, a new addition to an incredible tradition. And if we get our act together, if we do the work and help her succeed, today we elect the first woman who will serve as Premier of Saskatchewan. What an amazing thing that would be, and what an incredible thing to be a part of. We will remember back to this day. But it does require, if we're going to make that happen, we need to understand that we do need to get our act together. It is no secret, and we cannot fool ourselves. The fortunes of the Saskatchewan NDP, and as a result of Saskatchewan people, have not been what they should be in recent years. And getting our act together, it's got a lot to do with the act, with having a firm, credible critique of the current government and putting forth a platform of bold ideas that will excite and inspire Saskatchewan people to see the NDP as the best choice for the change we all need. But even more important than the act is the together. We are a party founded on a set of core principles. We believe that every person matters. And we believe, and we know that we all do better when we recognize that we are all in this together. And we have to be honest. Too many times in recent years, we've lost sight of that solidarity within our own family. All of us, myself included, have spent too much time fighting internal battles when we should be focused on reaching out to invite and welcome people in. Who wants to join a team that's fighting among themselves? So this, on my way out the door, is my great request to you, all of you, as we choose our new leader. Whoever your candidate is today, if your candidate, if she isn't successful, support her to stay involved and support the leader wholeheartedly, the leader that your fellow New Democrats have chosen today. And if your candidate does win, recognize this isn't the end, this is only the beginning. Be there to build up that new leader. Support her. Invite her opponent and her supporters into the project. Organize and work together. Because there's nothing Scott Moe and the Sask Party will rejoice to see more than a divided NDP. And there's nothing more powerful than the People's Party working together as a team. Folks, I believe we can do this. We can do this. And when we get that act together, we can not only remove this tired, failed government, we can excite and inspire people to join us in electing a new government, one that will make a real difference in people's lives, one that will build that healthy future that we all want and need. And I can't wait to see that happen. And I won't leave you waiting much longer at all to hear from the women who will lead that charge. I'm so excited to see who you choose today and to give her my full support. Thank you, New Democrats. Thank you so much.